Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, our buddy, Stephen A.Smith.
Stephen A., good morning.
Stephen A., good
Stephen A.
morning.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, man, I know this has got to be close to your heart because I know you've known him for so many years. But give us your thoughts, man, about some of the things he did as a correspondent for ESPN.
Well, he was, to say he was sensational doesn't even begin to describe him. He's one of the pioneers in this business, one of the guys that made it happen for the rest of us. His delivery, his presentation, the uniqueness to it. Those things are well known. I think the one thing that people don't really realize and understand is the kind of work ethic that he had. Stuart Scott, essentially, he couldn't see, guys. He had eye problems for many, many years. He took off his glasses, couldn't see right in front of him practically. Even with his glasses on, it was very, very difficult. I remember a memory I had that we were at a basketball game, and he was sitting on the floor at mid-court trying to go through his notes. And I was trying to figure out what was he doing. Why are you on the floor? What's going on? He says, I'm memorizing my script. So what are you talking about? It's an hour. It's an hour-long show. He said, I know. And that's exactly what he did, just in case he couldn't read the prompt or he couldn't see something. He literally would memorize an entire SportsCenter script for the hour. And I'm telling you, as somebody who does this for a living, that's been in this business for over 22 years and been in television over 15 years, I've never seen anything like it. He loved football. He loved a lot of things about the world of sports. He loved being a voice for our community. He loved a lot of things, but more importantly, he loved being a dad to those two beautiful daughters of his. That's why, as we sit here today and, you hear people from ESPN talking about it, I mean, that's really what hits home, because if you were around him, give or take 5 or 10 minutes, if that, you were going to hear something about his two daughters. You were going to hear something about them because he loved them that much. And I was in Miami with him, not the year that Miami lost to San Antonio, but the year they beat San Antonio. And back then, even, obviously he's having problems because he's had 3 separate battles trying to beat cancer. And he said to me, I don't know how much time I've got left, bro, but I'm going to fight, only because I don't want to leave them. I can't leave them. I got to stay the course and do what I've got to do. And so, when you heard about his passing yesterday, those were the two people that first came to his mind, that came to your mind, his two beautiful daughters, because, they were his sole source of inspiration. And it's just a shame that they're going to be without their dad. It really hits home.
Right. I was watching when I got up yesterday morning at 7 o'clock when the early morning NFL program came on. I was just passing past the TV and I saw a picture of him and Robin Roberts from Good Morning America.
Yep.
And I had the TV down, so I just kept seeing these pictures of her and him, and I could tell by the way the pictures were being shown something was wrong. And when I turned it up, man, and they said that he had passed, it messed me up because, we met him on the Kings of Comedy tour. And he was with his wife, and he came up to me, and he said, "Oh man, I just want to tell y'all, man, I've been dying to see y'all." And when I realized who it was, I said, "Oh man, Stuart Scott, hold tight, dog." I went and got Bernie, said, DL. He was happy to see us. Our reaction to him made his wife start crying. She just put her hand over her mouth because our reaction to him was he was excited because he was talking to the Kings, man. But we were blown away because this was Stuart Scott. This is the dude that had put swag on SportsCenter.
That's right.
SportsCenter was just, you know what it was, man. It was just, laced down the middle. That was it. This dude came out talking like we talk to each other when we talk in sports.
Well, the thing about it is I've told people on many, many occasions, I said that, just not to denigrate anybody or put anybody down. It's just a point of fact. I said that, a lot of people, particularly white people, come to work every day with a job to do. Black people in Stuart Scott's position came to work with a responsibility. When you are a black person and you are in the limelight in the public eye that way, and you are one of the few voices that exist to represent our community, a lot of times folks are like, don't say this, say that, don't do this, do that, make sure you represent, et cetera, et cetera. And Stuart obviously had those battles because you had people that felt like his presentation wasn't what they wanted it to be. And all Stuart Scott wanted to be was the best that he could be. He wanted to be the best representative of himself that he could possibly be, as real and true to himself as he could fathom. And that's what he worked for and against every day of his career. But it got to the point where he won. He won the battle because what he was doing, everybody gravitated to because we knew it was unique. We knew it was special. We knew it was surreal, and that's what he was all about. He was all about being exceptional, and I can't emphasize this enough. He wasn't a guy that just had swag. He wasn't a guy that just had talent. He was an individual that never took it for granted. He worked his butt off, and he always used to sit there and say to me, Stephen A., I love you, and I'm proud of you because you work hard and you do the job. And if you want to give a message to everybody out there, make sure it's about doing your job and striving to be the very best that you can be always. The very best you can be. Not the very best somebody else wants you to be, but the very best you can be. So you can go home and look in that mirror and be proud. And that's what he was.
Yeah, he was, man. And he was bigger than he ever knew. And that's the part that I hope he understood at the ESPY Awards. He was bigger than he ever knew. And when I was watching Chris Carter and Tom Brown and Keyshawn and Mike Dicker and all of them go through everything they were saying about him, it really struck home because Keyshawn said it. He said, man, as an African-American man, to be able to look at somebody and think that I might be able to talk. Look, man, what came out of Keyshawn's mouth, the segment they got called "Come On, Man," that stems from from Stuart Scott cracking the door. Without that, there is no "Come On, Man." There is no nothing.
Years, months ago, rapping to Stuart at the NBA Finals and what have you, I remember saying to him, you're a winner. You're better than all of us. And I'll tell you why. Because with all of that being said, as true as it may be, the one thing that he wanted more than anything was to be recognized and known as a beautiful and loving father to his two daughters. And I said, you got that down pat. And so the last days of his life, the last years of his life, he lived in comfort knowing that they knew how much he loved him and what a great guy he was, what a great man he was. Like I said, it's just going to be a devastating loss. It ain't. I can't even emphasize to you enough what it's like with ESPN today, man. It's a devastating blow for the ESPN family, to be honest with you. Yeah. It really is.
God bless y'all, man. Condolences go out to you all and the family. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.